Om Timirandasya Gyanandana Shalakaya Shakshurmilitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Manopisam Stapitanyena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupa Sagrajata Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padasagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavadu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripasindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I'm sorry. Uh, I'm using my phone while my computer is coming up. So yesterday, Krishna explained to us how there are five factors. Factors. There are five factors in carry out any action. I want somebody to remind us those five factors. I'm asking a question now. What are those five factors?
Okay. It is outlined in 1814. There's the body or the place of action, the performer, the various senses, the kind of endeavor, and the super soul.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for the response. Yeah. And Krishna described knowledge, action, and object of action in three modes. So far yesterday, we have done knowledge in three modes and action in three modes. So I want us to quickly remind me, what are the actions or what are the knowledge in three modes and action in three modes? Let's quickly go through them. What are actions in three modes?
Is it the three modes of goodness, ignorance, and passion?
Action in three modes, in goodness, passion, and Krishna mentioned them yesterday.
Brother Kavi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Do you mean the description of the modes? Like, for instance, action taken in the mode of goodness is one in which you see the supreme soul in everybody. Is that what you mean? Is that the question?
That is the knowledge. Actually, that is knowledge in the mode of goodness. Yes, you understand the question. Yeah. The one you just mentioned now is knowledge in the mode of goodness. That is description of Krishna described knowledge in three modes. Knowledge in the mode of goodness, knowledge in the mode of passion, knowledge in the mode of ignorance. And then he described three action in three modes also. Action in the mode of goodness, action, and action in the mode of ignorance. So I'm asking so that we quickly go through it for our ignorance.
Do you want a summary of each one?
Yes. Just speak, yeah, like that.
Okay.
Let's go through it. Anybody who find
Okay,
knowledge in the mode
so
of good? Okay, yes, right.
knowledge in the mode of goodness sees one spirit soul in everything. In the mode of passion, they see different living entities in different bodies. They see separation.
Okay.
And if in ignorance, they only see the body.
Okay. Very good. That's what I'm asking. Thank you very much. What about action in 3 months? Oh, we stop at mode of
All
ignorance.
right.
These are the actual
In goodness is
yeah.
summarized in 1823. It's without attachment, without love or hatred, and without a desire for any fruitive results.
Yeah. Very good.
In passion, the senses are gratifying desire. There's false ego and selfishness, desire that, isn't for Krishna. And ignorance in 1825 is there's no, they don't follow any scriptural injunctions. They don't follow any rules or laws.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. Good summary. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So that is knowledge in the mode in 3 months and action in 3 months. Krishna described that. That's what we studied yesterday. So now we continue from where we stopped. That was 1825. So today we go to 1826. When Krishna described one who perform his duty without association with modes of material nature, without forces, with great determination, enthusiasm, without wavering success, what kind of one. So Krishna is going to talk about duty now in 3 modes. So let me share my screen. Okay, so Krishna says in 26, Mukta Sangona Havadi, Dritya Usaha Samavita, Sidya Sidyo Nivekara, Kakta Satvika Uchate. So this is describing one who perform his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, without wavering in success or failure. He seemed to be a worker in the mode of goodness. So Krishna is talking about walking in the mode of goodness here now, performing your duty in the mode of goodness. What Krishna is doing in the chapter 18 is that he's summarizing all the knowledge he has spoken to Arjuna in all the other chapters. In chapter 2, he summarized what he's going to speak. In chapter 18, he summarized what he has spoken. That is to show you how perfect Krishna is teaching. Krishna is the most perfect teacher. So now, all this knowledge is telling Arjuna here is a direct instruction to him based on what he has described to him from beginning to end. So one who performs his duty without association with the force of nature, material nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, without wavering in success or failure, is said to be a worker in the mode of goodness. So like I've said before, that Bhagavad Krishna taught that result is not, doesn't determine success, but the endeavor itself is what determines success. So here he mentions, without wavering in success or failure, that worker who, who engages in his duty without wavering in success or failure, very enthusiastically perform it with great determination, without false ego, is said to be in the mode of goodness. And properly explained in the purport. Let's go through it. Very short purport. Somebody want to read the purports?
Okay, I'll read it. A person in Krishna consciousness is always transcendental to the material modes of nature. He has no expectations for the result of the work entrusted to him. because he is above false ego and pride. Still, he is always enthusiastic till the completion of such work. He does not worry about the distress undertaken. He is always enthusiastic. He does not care for success or failure. He is equal in both distress and happiness. Such a worker is situated in the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna.
So thank you very much, Prabhu. So this is how to walk in the mode of goodness. They're very enthusiastic, even though the thing is the work is not comfortable, or you are equal in distress or happiness. You're very enthusiastic in completing the action entrusted to you. I'm looking for force, So this is walking in the mode of goodness. So it's very, very important. Yes, Mother. Yeah.
I have a question regarding this point.
Okay, please.
I mean, it's been on my mind since we started doing this since yesterday, so it's been on my mind. So, my question is, how can you make this practical? Because I mean, we've established that this concept of working without attachment to the reward is the more transcendental way, and it's opposite to what we are taught in life.
Yeah.
So how do we make this practical? So, for instance, I have a let me give you. I mean, you're a Nigerian. You know the struggles we've been going through.
I can make it practical.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yes,
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay. So, for instance, you meet a person who is working so hard. So, yes, you're working with detachment, but we live in a world where money is a crucial part of everything that we do. And so, you're working, and then you are expecting to receive payment, and either the payment doesn't come because you have all these responsibilities to your family, to yourself, and then either the money doesn't come or it comes but it's not enough for all the things you have to do.
Yeah.
So how does one then remain in this realm of transcendental thinking without asking yourself if it's all worth it, and what am I doing?
Yeah, that is the point. It's like this. Thank you very much for asking the question. It's very like what you are saying. What we are saying here is the goal. Is the perfection of the consciousness we should achieve and attain at the end of our life. But now, whatever level we have to be gradually moving towards that consciousness. That is what Papa said. Self-satisfaction is very, very important. To always satisfy with what we have. Simplicity, to be simple, is very, very important, because at the end of the day, all those people, like, this is what I used to console myself for. I'm just sharing with you. All those people you think that you want to satisfy, if you die today, you leave this world today, they will survive. See? You get the point?
Yes, it's true.
They will survive. So, knowing this, try your best and leave the rest.
So I guess I'm asking
It's okay.
for practical. I guess I'm asking for a
according to
practical.
your heart.
How does one get into this mode? Yeah, how does one get into
Frustration
this mental state?
of so much expectation. Can you hear me?
Mm. Yes, I can hear you.
Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear, but I just wanted, I guess, a more practical. How do we? Do you say a certain mantra or prayer before you start the work to put your mind in that at that level and try and keep it there while you're doing the work? You know what I mean?
Oh, very good. Yeah, I understand. That is why in the beginning, whatever we are doing, we should think that we are doing it for the pleasure of God. Like chanting Hare Krishna mantra is very good. Like Prabhupada mentioned in them, I always quote that chapter 8:7. If you read the purport of that 8:7, that's what Krishna said. Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that we should chant Hare Krishna mantra, because when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, when we chant the names of God, then we can be able to realize and understand the purpose of life. And at that time, we will not be so much anxious or anchoring for what is beyond our means. We live our life based on our means. If I know that this is my means is 120,000, there is how I can live my life around that my means. You know, let the people who are dependent on you know that this is my means. And if I get more, I will give you. But for now, this is my means. Because at the end of the day, like I said, if we die, leave this world, those people who think that they cannot survive because of us, they will survive. So knowing this, we should try to live our life based on what. That is why you see in a country like in the third world country, people are pushed into corruption, cheating, because they are trying to satisfy others, their family, their parents, and this, that. So whenever they get the opportunity, they want to do all kind of mischievous things just to do all these duties. At the end of the day, they are put so much karma for themselves. So that is why simple living is the solution. It should be very, very simple. Let us cut our clothes according to our size. How did they put it?
Cut your clothes according to your material.
You cut your clothes according to your material. Yeah. You know? Because yeah, if your material will only get you only one shirt, be satisfied with that instead of planning for trouser that is not part of the clothes. You see? So let us plan our life based on our means, at least for practical purpose. We know what we can get now. Okay, we can work for more in the future, but based on what is available, let us plan our life around that. In that way, that is what is called simplicity. In that way, you don't have unnecessary high blood pressure. Mr. David, Mr. David, you want to say something?
I do. You know, when
Yes.
this verse was read and I read it, the thing I thought about was Prabhupada's journey over to America when he landed into the East Coast, and it was, it's really cold, and he wasn't in good health, and he would just go and sit next to a tree and sing songs.
Hare Krishna mantra.
Yes. And he did this without wavering, without thinking about success or failure. It was like, this is what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's what he's doing. Okay. And there's
Yeah.
a reason why he's doing it. What more do you need?
Very good. That is a very good contribution, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah. Prabhupada has so much faith in the holy names of God. That was his success. Prabhupada, when he was going to America, just like he said, he had only 40 rupees in his pocket. 40 rupees. Only 40 rupees. Just imagine somebody who's going to start this multi-billion dollars organization now
I
in
can
today's
imagine.
world. When he was going to America, he had only 40 rupees in his pocket. 40 rupees. And at that time also, he was not very sure where he was going to stay. He already had a contact of where he's going to stay. He was not sure whether they will really keep him for a long time. You see? And after some time, he has to move from that place and rent and got to some rented apartment. And you didn't know who he was staying with. He was staying with drug addicts. But he has strong faith in the holy names of God. So chanting the names of God is very, very wonderful. If you have faith in the holy names of God, this is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One woman today, when we were distributing books in Shangri-La, in Mandaluyong. So one woman today, I approached her and I was trying to give her a book. And she told me, I'm very sick, I don't have any money. Please, can you pray for me? So I say, okay, come, let me give you a prayer. So I took that our book and I show her the Hare Krishna mantra. And I say every morning, 5 o'clock, we wake up and say this prayer, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Say it with all sincerity and cry to God. Cry to God in your heart. Cry. The Lord will answer your prayer. So that, so thank you very, very much. I'm very grateful. I will do it. You see? So, the only names of God is the only thing that can deliver us in this age of Kali. So the more we have faith in the holy names of God and surrender to the holy names of God, the more we'll be free from all the anxiety and all our limitations. We will free from all our shortcomings and all these things that is bothering our mind will automatically go away when we surrender to the holy names of God. I cannot even imagine how wonderful these holy names of God is. You cannot imagine. At least for me, I've seen the miracle many times in my life. How wonderful is it? I've seen it many, many times in my life. To the extent that I even became very scared. I said, Krishna, I don't want anything again. Please, I just want to chant your holy name. But anything you desire, boom, it's already boom, manifest. You desire, boom, it manifests. I said, Krishna, no, I just want to chant your holy name. I don't want anything, please. Become scared. Because after desiring, you see that what you desire is it doesn't worth it. So what is the use? Why am I desiring this in the first place? So Krishna just do the best for me. Yeah. So these names of God, the more we take shelter on it, of the holy names of God, and chant it with sincerity, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. The more we chant it very sincerely, the more, Krishna will, will come into our life and will surprise us in so many ways, Yeah, so thank you for bringing that point. Papa adds so much strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. And that chanting of the holy name that you mentioned now, going under that Second Avenue on Top School Square Park in America, just sitting down there chanting this holy name is what started this great movement that we have there. Just going there, sitting down and chanting these names of God. Just that is what started all these things. Like that. Yeah. So thank you very much for the question and the contribution. So let's continue. So is Krishna now described walking in the mode of passion. Ragi karma phala prepso lugdo imasatmako suchini aksha shukavita karta rajasa parikritita. The worker who is attached to work and the fruit of work, desire to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow, seem to be in the mode of passion. I'm very sure we can understand this very clearly. You are working and very attached to the fruit of the work. You are desiring to enjoy the fruit. You are very greedy, always envious of others. Because you are always greedy, you want more. The person becoming pure, moved by sorrow, joy and sorrow, seem to be in the mode of passion. That is it. So let's read the purpose.
Yeah, I'll read.
Yes, please.
Okay, purport. A person is too much attached to a certain kind of work or to the result because he has too much attachment for materialism or hearth and home, wife, and children. Such a person has no desire for a higher elevation in life. He is simply concerned with making this world as materially comfortable as possible. He is generally very greedy, and he thinks that anything attained by him is permanent and never to be lost. Such a person is envious of others and prepared to do anything wrong for sense gratification. Therefore, such a person is unclean, and he does not care whether his earning is pure or impure. He is very happy if his work is successful and very much distressed when his work is not successful. Such is the worker in the mode of passion. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. I know, I'm very sure many of you can relate to this. Yeah, we can relate to this. This is purely how materialistic those people who are the owner of companies. The owner of companies, establishments, all what is described here, you can find it in everything. Very, very passionate about their work. Like that. Ayuka, Prakita, Stabda, Tato, Naishpitiko, Nasa, Vishadi, Dibdat, Supiri, Cha, Kartatama, Saruchate. Worker who is always engaged in work against injunction of scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating and expert in insulting others, who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating. He said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance. So this is working in the mode of ignorance. Somebody who is always morose, always lazy, procrastinating, tomorrow, always procrastinating, expert in insulting others. When you try to correct them, they will insult you. Well, they are very stubborn. They don't work based on the scripture. Very materialistic. So these are always the teacher that's also cheating and expert in insulting others. These are workers in the order of let's read the purpose.
Okay, I'll read it, Prabhuji. In the scriptural injunctions, we find what sort of work should be performed and what sort of work should not be performed. Those who do not care for those injunctions engage in work not to be done, and such persons are generally materialistic. They work according to the modes of nature, not according to the injunctions of the scriptures. Such workers are not very gentle, and generally they are always cunning and expert in insulting others. They are very lazy. Even though they have some duty, they do not do it properly, and they put it aside to be done later on. Therefore, they appear to be morose. They procrastinate. Anything which can be done in an hour, they drag on for years. Such workers are situated in the mode of ignorance.
Wow. We can understand this description. Anything that can be done in hours, they will drag it for years. My God. How will the person not be morose? Just imagine someone procrastinating like this. How will the person not be morose? Surely will be morose. So now we understand working in the mode of ignorance. Krishna just described the work in three modes. Now Krishna will continue. Bude bedam disse shaiva gunastat Tibidam Oshamana Asheshena Vitaptuena Dananjaya. Open up words. Now please listen as I tell you in details of the different kinds of understanding and determination according to the three modes of nature. I'm going to explain about our different understanding and determination. So let us try to understand what is our understanding and determination, which mode we are sitting. I hope we are analyzing ourselves the way we are after reading about this water, and I hope we are analyzing ourselves which one we are situated. Are we always procrastinating, always lazy, or we are very, on the passionate level, or are we on the goodness? Let's analyze ourselves and try to bring ourselves to the higher mode. So let's read the direction. Now, after explaining knowledge, the object of knowledge and the knower, the different division according to the modes of material nature. The law is explaining the intelligence and determination of the worker in the same way. Pravitim cha, nivritim cha, kaya kaye, baya baye, vada moksha cha, also the preacher, that understanding by which one knows what is ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating. It's a whole of goodness. So, such understanding, knowing what is ought to be done, what is not ought to, what is not to be done, knowing what to be feared and what not to be feared, knowing what is binding to this world or what is liberating. Once you have this understanding, you are yes. Okay, purpose.
Prabhu,
Yes, bro.
I'm not sure if it's only on my side, but your audio is it's not smooth at all. It's lagging.
Now you're not good from other side also.
It's fine. I can hear you.
I think it's the earphones.
I always hear some lag sometimes, but I think it's distance.
It's not clear.
Sometimes it's low, sometimes it's high.
Because of the fan in front of me, you know it's very hot now. So if you don't want the fan is not on. You'll be cooked inside your room.
Sometimes what happens is that maybe the sound doesn't come out, and one of the words you're saying is like a word I've never heard before, and I can't hear it. And it's like, I'm like, okay, what did he say? And then I'm listening for it again. I don't hear it again. I'm like, okay.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to take notes.
It's very clear.
Oh, I'm
Right
glad.
on your side, Mother.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so but is it clear now? Can you hear me now?
But I'm not saying anything about that. It's clear now. I'm trying to listen anyway.
Is it clear now?
Yes,
feel
Prabhu.
I can hear you
Okay.
clearly.
It's better now.
Okay, so let's continue. Okay. So like I was saying, understanding now Krishna described the understanding in the book of goodness. That is clear. It's clear. That understanding is very clear to us. Okay. So Krishna, the performing action in type of direction of the scripture is called palliative, or executive action that deserves to be performed. An action which is not directed are not to be performed. One who does not know the scriptural direction becomes entangled in the action and reaction of work. Understanding which discriminates by intelligence is the order. Yes. Okay, so then 31. Yaya Daryam Adamacha Kaya Shakaya Pacha Ayatava Pajanati Buddhin Sapata Rajasi. Also not Peter, that understanding which cannot distinguish between action that should be done and action that should not be done. It's in the mode of action. Okay, so any understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion is understanding in the mode of action. Okay. Then 32. Adharmam dharma itiya mayati tapasapita sarvatam viparitam cha buddhim sapartaradamasi. That understanding which consider irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness, and strive always in the wrong direction. So that understanding which is religion to be irreligion and irreligion to be religion is in the mode of. Now let's hear what Papa say about that.
Okay, I'll read. Herbert. Intelligence in the mode of ignorance is always working the opposite of the way it should. It accepts religions which are not actually religions and rejects actual religion. Men in ignorance understand a great soul to be a common man and accept a common man as a great soul. They think truth to be untruth and accept untruth as truth. In all activities, they simply take the wrong path. Therefore, their intelligence is in the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
That is explanatory. Yeah. Then here it says, Dritvaya Yadaya Darayate Manasa Utya Priya Yogena Priya Vicharina Riti Saparta Satviki. So it's designing determination in the mode of function of Prita, that determination which is unbreakable, which is situated, which is sustained with steadfast by yoga practice, and which does control the activity of the mind, life, and senses, is determination in the mode of goodness. Now we understand determination in the mode of goodness. It's always purport. Someone else want to read?
Sorry, I'll read it. I was 32,
Yes,
33. Yoga is a means to understand the Supreme Soul. One who is steadily fixed in the Supreme Soul with determination, concentrating one's mind, life, and sensory activities on the Supreme, engages in Krishna consciousness. That sort of determination is in the mode of goodness. The word of abhicharanya is very significant, for it indicates that persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness are never deviated by any other activity. Hare Krishna.
So Abhyabhicharinya, Prabhupada says very important. In the word-to-word translation, Abhyabhicharinya means without any break. So that is most important in that translation, that determination in the mode of ignorance is unbreakable. I'm sorry, determination in the mode of goodness is unbreakable. Okay. Take note of that. Now, Jaya to Dharma Karmartan, Ritya Daraya Tejuna, Prasangena Palasa, Kashi, Sapata Rajasi. But that determination by which one hold fast to fruitful results in religion, and sense gratification is of nature of passion, O Arjuna. So determination, the mode of passion means, we want the fruitful results in the religious activities, economic development, and sense that which are the goals of life. These are goals of life: religion, like dharma, artha, karma, and the other one is moksha, which is salvation. When you want a fruitful result in all these activities you perform, then that is the foundation of passion. Any person who is always desiring of fruitful result in religious or economic activity, only desire self gratification, and whose mind, life, and senses are thus engaged in the mode of passion. Okay, purport very short. Okay, then you have swapnam, bayam, shloka, swapnam, always dreaming, eh? Determination in the mode of ignorance means dreaming. Vishadam, madam, me, bacha, navimo, chati, dhammeda, drisicha, patarta, masi. And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, carefulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion. Such unintelligent determination, O son of Prita, is in the mode of darkness. When somebody always dreaming, I want to do this, always dreaming, never does, Always, oh, I want to do this, just always dreaming, and you never do that. So that is in the mode of ignorance. It's always fearful, it cannot be determined. Always fearful what will go wrong, what will go wrong, always lamenting, giving excuse, that is determination in the mode of. So let's study the purpose.
I'll read it Prabhuji. It should not be concluded that a person in the mood of goodness does not dream. Here, dream means too much sleep. Dreaming is always present, either in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Dreaming is a natural occurrence. But those who cannot avoid oversleeping, who cannot avoid the pride of enjoying material objects, who are always dreaming of lording it over the material world, and whose life, mind, and senses are thus engaged, are considered to have determination in the mode of ignorance.
Papa said, yeah, dreaming means oversleeping. You're always dreaming. You know, they are not determined to go after their purpose in life. They just want to sleep. They don't have purpose in life. Their life is not purpose driven. So they cannot be determined. Why? One of these. You come to Amidani, Krishna is going to explain about happiness. You know, me Bharata Shaba Vyasa Ramate Yatra Dukantam. Now, please hear from me about the kind of happiness by which the conditions to enjoy, and by which it sometimes comes to the end of all this. Krishna is going to explain about happiness also. The conditions to try to enjoy material happiness, they came and they lost, they chew. But sometimes in the course of such enjoyment, it becomes really from material entanglement by associating with grace. In other words, conditions so it's always engaged in some type of sense gratification. But when you understand by good attitude that it is only the repetition of the same thing, and it's awakening to the spiritual consciousness, it is sometimes relief such a so-called happiness. Pariname Puto Pamam Tasukam Satukam That which is the beginning may be just like a poison, but at the end is just like nectar. And that which you are making one to self-realization is said to be happiness, the mode of goodness. So any happiness in the beginning that's look like poison, the beginning look like something is not going right. But at the end, everything become okay. Like that. Like a poison in the beginning, but at the end, like nectar, which awakens one's self-realization. That is the happiness in mode of goodness. Let's read the purport.
Would you like me to read it? In the pursuit of self-realization, one has to follow many rules and regulations to control the mind and the senses to concentrate the mind on the self. All these procedures are very difficult, bitter like poison, but if one is successful in following the regulations and comes to the transcendental position, he begins to drink real nectar, and he enjoys life. Hare Krishna.
To control the senses, what I explained is like poison in the beginning. But controlling our senses, our mind, is what ultimately give us happiness. That is why it's called regulatory principle of freedom. Okay? Through our senses. That is why I say better than the pain of regret. When you're able to restrain yourself, it's painful. Like the point, like Papa mentioned here. When you're able to restrain yourself, it's painful, but ultimately, but if you don't restrain yourself, then you start regretting. Once you don't restrain yourself, you always regret. And that pain of regrets is not painful. The Krishna now going to describe the happiness in the mode of action. That's it, sorry. He says, that happiness which is derived from the process of the senses, their objects, and which appear like nectar at first, but poison at the end, is said to be in the mode of so, in the purpose, Papa explained, a young man and a young woman meet, and the senses drive the young man to see her, to touch her, and to have sexual intercourse. In the beginning, this may be very pleasing to the senses, but at the end, or after some time, it becomes just like poison. They are separated, or there is divorce, or there is lamentation, there is sorrow, etc. Such happiness is always in the mood of passion. Happiness derived from the combination of the senses, and the sense object is always cause of distress and should be avoided by all means. That is why it is always say that before you get married, no sex before marriage. If you can follow that principle to some extent, or to high extent, then that marriage will last. Because if two of you can get it right from beginning, then and put God in the center, then the purpose of the marriage will be properly established right from the beginning. But in the modern days, everything is upside down. That is why we see we are always facing so much miserable condition, also so much divorce, so much, unhappiness in marriage, like Papa mentioned here. It's a mood of passion. Look very wonderful in the beginning, but at the end is not always good because we don't do it in the mode of goodness. So we should avoid in this kind of situation in the mode of passion. It's very, very important. That's why so many problems in our society nowadays. Then in 39, Krishna explained. Yada Grishano Bad de Sukamoa Natmana Bella Sepama Tatama Sauda Ritam. And that happiness, which is blind to self-realization, which is the vision from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Some people they derive happiness in sleep or laziness. Some people derive happiness in lazy. They are very lazy. They want to sleep and sleep and sleep. So that happiness derived from laziness, sleep, said to be in the mode of ignorance. And one who has no idea how to act and how not to act is also in the mode of ignorance. So for the person in the mode of ignorance, everything is an illusion. It's an illusion. There is no happiness either in the beginning or at the end. For the person in the mode of passion, there might be some kind of ephemeral happiness at the end is distress. But for a person in the mode of ignorance, there's only distress both in the beginning and at the end. That is the difference between passion and ignorance in this point. Is that clear? Any question or comment or contribution regarding the happiness in different modes? Yes,
Yes, Prabhu. I have a question, but it's more related to what our activity is for I cannot talk. What our activity is for tomorrow. It's connected to the reporting that we're going to do.
Okay.
Because we're about to, yes, we were instructed to report about the 3 gates of hell, right? And so I noticed that those 3 aren't really like the primary issues of like women or like myself. If, for example, like greed, anger, and lust, these are normally what men find as like their challenges, right? But for women, it's different for us. I think for women, it's vanity, it's being vain, right? So where do we categorize vanity to those 3 gates?
Repeat the question again, sorry.
we're supposed to like research about the three gates of hell,
Yes.
greed, anger, lust, and what are our practical actions or activities in order to prevent or to overcome those qualities. So for women, for us, I think vanity is the most like the biggest deterrence when it comes to our spiritual practice. So where does vanity fall under those three categories? Lust, anger, and
greed.
greed.
Actually, vanity is always yet right from the beginning, the loss itself. Because you see, loss simply means desire to enjoy. You know, desire to enjoy the material world. That is loss. It can be desire for money, desire for position, desire for fame, these are lofty desires. We call them lofty desires. So not understanding that these things, you know, is temporary, vanity, you know, that is the illusion, you know. Because at the end of the day, all these things we are desiring, they're temporary. They are temporary. They are vanity, you know, vanity of in Nigeria we say vanity of vanity, you know. So everything we are going to, you know, leave everything behind here. So why so much, you know, struggling to acquire something you know that you are not going to take with you? Okay, so that is why changing of our consciousness is very important. So whatever we are going to acquire in this world, we should acquire because it's pleasing to God. Whatever we are going to do in this world, we should do it because it's pleasing to God, not for our own self-aggrandizement. To cut the laws or control our lusty desires, then we can understand the vanity in everything in this world. Then we will have proper focus like that. Okay? Is that okay? Yeah, Mother, do you want to say something?
So I have a question.
Let's go. Yeah.
So if a person recognizes their own consciousness that they are operating in the mode of either passion or ignorance,
Yeah.
what are the practical steps to arise, to get oneself out of those modes and into the mode of goodness?
We are studying this book. And now we know the action or knowledge or determination in the different books. So now we have to make endeavor to start practicing those things in front of us. So we are like now I know the determination in the mode of goodness means unbreakable determination. If people are not able to practice that, now I know. As long as what I'm pursuing is positive, interpretation, then that is mode of goodness. Or understanding the mode of goodness. This one how Krishna described all these things. So now that we know the actions in the mode of goodness, only creating action. Mode of passion and ignorance, the binding. Also, Krishna mentioned about understanding mode of ignorance. Also, don't know what is religious and not what is not irreligious. So we should understand. Okay, this thing, understanding the mode of goodness is conducive for my self-realization. So I should act on that platform like that. So endeavoring or practically trying to practice this in our life, that is the only way we can come to that mode of goodness. So we should not just read them, but try to apply them. Practical application, it's most difficult in terms of scriptural injunction, but that is the only way we can have realization, only when we apply them. That is why we are studying them anyway, so that we can apply them in our life.
So we change by practicing, we change by doing.
Yes, that is the only way. Sometimes change may be difficult, But at least now that I'm in knowledge, I have that knowledge. So if I fail today, I should promise myself tomorrow I will try harder. So every day is an opportunity for us to try harder and harder until we get it right, like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So
Per-
I have yes, Daniki, you want to say something?
I was just about to ask Prabhu if you can give us like an example for yourself. For example, like, do you have any qualities that you struggled before and you fixed it from like practicing it for years?
Yeah, okay. Let me check. Um, 1 minute. Let me just check the one we just read. Now we are supposed to go to like the Papa, like Krishna mentioned about determination, the mode of goodness. Let me go quickly go there 1 minute. Actually, I'm supposed to go. Now, please hear from me about the kind of happiness. Okay, can we talk about this tomorrow?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. Because now I'm supposed to sign in the other class. I'm sorry. So, very good question. You want my practical, how I'll be able to apply this, what we are discussing in my own self tomorrow. So I'm going to look at practical example tomorrow, okay? Hare Krishna. One check about check it fast. See you tomorrow, Hare Krishna. I have to go now. Thank you.